All right, let's talk. Have you ever been at that point in your career where you just stop and think, okay, what's next for me? If that sounds familiar, you're going to want to stick around. Today, we're diving into a really interesting path, one that gives you structure, a ton of support, and best of all, the chance to finally be your own boss. We're talking about franchise ownership.
So let's just cut to the chase. Are you really, truly ready for a big change in your career? I mean, if you're sitting there just craving more control, more freedom, the chance to build something that is actually yours, then franchising, yeah, that could be the exact answer you've been searching for.
We call this desire for change a career pivot. And what's so great about franchising is that it offers a structured way to become an entrepreneur. Think of it like this. You get to take that big leap, but you've got a safety net and a proven playbook right there with you. It lets you build a real, tangible asset for your future. So you might be wondering, okay, but is this actually for me? And you know what? The answer is probably yes, because this is for a way bigger group of people than you'd think. Maybe you're that aspiring entrepreneur who's just itching to run your own show. Or maybe you're a savvy investor looking to branch out. You could even be dreaming of building a whole empire of businesses as a multi-unit operator. And for our USA veterans out there, your leadership skills are a perfect fit for the business world. Seriously, there's a spot for all of you here. Now, the best part of all this is that you absolutely do not have to figure this out on your own. I know the path might seem a little complicated at first, but there are experienced guides out there who can help you every single step of the way. And that guide is called a franchise consultant. The best way to think of them is like a matchmaker for your career. They really take the time to get to know you, your skills, your financial picture, your goals, and then they connect you with the franchise opportunity that's just the perfect fit. This quote from Ron Fillion, who's been doing this for over 25 years, really nails it. He says his mission is all about personalized guidance and real actionable strategies to help people make that pivot. See, it's not about just making a sale, it's about finding you a rewarding business. And that is exactly the kind of person you want in your corner. Okay, so even with a guide, I'm sure you've got some big questions, maybe even a few worries that are holding you back. So you know what? Let's just tackle the biggest hurdles and myths right now, head on. First things first, the big one, money. The moment you hear business ownership, it's so easy to picture some crazy seven-figure price tag. But how much money do you actually need to get started? Well, the reality is the investment range is just huge. You could start a home-based business for less than $10,000, or you could go all in and invest over $1 million in a huge operation. The key thing to remember is this. There is a way in for almost every budget. It's way more accessible than most people think. All right, next myth we need to bust. I've been in finance my whole life. There's no way I can open a restaurant. Or I'm a teacher. What do I know about home repair? Do you really need to be an expert in that specific industry? The answer is a huge, resounding no. Seriously, franchisors are not looking for an expert in their field. They're going to provide all the training for that. What they do want is strong business acumen. They want to see that you can manage people, understand profit, and make smart decisions. They want solid management skills and, this is crucial, a willingness to follow their proven system. They're looking for a great business partner, not a pre-made expert. Okay, now that we've busted a couple of those big myths, where do you actually go to explore all these opportunities? Well, the absolute best place to start is a franchise expo. Just think of it like a giant one-stop shop for discovery and making connections. And here's a real concrete event you can put on your calendar, the Great American Franchise Expo in Houston. It's happening February 21st and 22nd, 2026 at the Stafford Center. This is your chance to turn all these ideas into real action. And get this, what does it cost to walk through the door and explore all of this? Zero. Zilch. Nada. All you have to do is register online beforehand. It saves you the $29 fee at the door and basically unlocks this entire world of opportunity for free. It's a no-brainer. So what's your game plan when you get to the expo? It's pretty simple, really. First, register online for that free ticket. Once you're inside, go soak up all the knowledge you can at the seminars on things like financing and franchise law. Then just walk the floor and explore hundreds of different concepts. And most important of all, talk to people. Meet the professionals behind the brands. Look, this is so much more than just window shopping. It's a true deep dive. You can get free coaching right there on the spot, learn the legal ins and outs from actual experts, discover all kinds of funding options, and have direct face-to-face conversations with the brand leaders.
It's probably the most efficient research you will ever do.
Wow, okay, we've covered a ton of ground, haven't we? From figuring out that you want to change to finding the right resources and even the marketplace to make it happen. So now, let's talk about turning all of this exploration into real, concrete action.
Just think about it for a second. You have a map. That's the Franchise Expo. You have a guide. That's your franchise consultant. And you have a destination, rewarding business ownership. You literally have everything you need to start this journey. And that brings us to the final and honestly, the most important question. This one isn't for me to answer. It's for you. After hearing all of this, knowing what's out there and what's possible, what is the very first step on your journey going to be? The path is laid out. You just have to decide to take it. Thanks for tuning in.